Finland faces surge in Mycoplasma infections, pneumonia cases rise sharply. Fire damages major flower greenhouse in Finland, Christmas poinsettia supply at risk. Finnish Ministry of Finance warns of major budget cuts due to welfare area deficits. Health Minister defends Kemi hospital service reductions amid criticism. Finland is currently facing a significant outbreak of Mycoplasma, a type of bacteria causing respiratory infections, which has led to a sharp increase in pneumonia cases. Infections have risen 11-fold compared to last year, with nearly 4,500 cases reported. Dr. Alinra Karnar, an infectious disease specialist from the South Ostrobothnia welfare area, described this as the worst outbreak in years. Pneumonia cases have not only occurred among the elderly but also in younger individuals. Alongside Mycoplasma, other viruses such as coronavirus, adenovirus, and pertussis are also spreading, complicating the situation further. There has been a significant increase in the number of patients under 50 requiring hospitalization due to pneumonia. On Friday morning, a large fire broke out at the greenhouse facilities of Housegular Company, a flower producer and importer based in Turku's Päimar-Larsar area, Finland. The fire was discovered around 9:30 a.m. and was extinguished shortly after that. According to Fire Chief Zuhar Virto, there were no casualties, and all employees were safely evacuated. Zali Morito, the owner of Housegular, stated that the fire started in the walkway between two greenhouses and quickly spread to the walls and energy curtains. Approximately 4,000 square meters, or 10% of the company's production area, was affected. Morito mentioned that a large number of poinsettias, a popular Christmas flower, were severely damaged. While the financial losses have not yet been estimated, he assured that Housegular will still provide enough poinsettias for the Christmas season this year. The Finnish Ministry of Finance has warned that the government needs to prepare for additional budget cuts amounting to hundreds of millions of euros next spring due to the financial struggles of welfare areas. Zuhair Marzarnen, the ministry's secretary-general, noted that while welfare regions may be given extra time to balance their budgets, the government must seriously consider revising social and healthcare reforms. Marzarnen also pointed out that the current large deficit, reaching 1.42 billion euros, has made it difficult for many regions to meet the 2026 deadline for balancing their budgets. Factors such as inflation and labor shortages have further worsened the financial situation. The government is expected to discuss and make key decisions on additional financial measures during its spring meeting next year. Minister of Health and Social Affairs Kaisar Juuso defended the decision to reduce operations at the Länsi-Pohja Central Hospital in Kemi after facing questions from Left Alliance MP Hanna Sarikinen. Juuso emphasized that the Lapland welfare area still has the authority to retain specialized medical services at the hospital, despite the government's proposal to halt nighttime surgeries. Sarikinen expressed concerns that this could weaken specialized healthcare services in Kemi. However, Juuso argued that the cuts would reduce redundant costs and improve personnel management efficiency. Helsinki police have dismantled an organized crime group involved in drug trafficking, which was operating out of a cafe-restaurant in the Puhos shopping center in Helsinki. The group, mainly consisting of Turkish and Syrian nationals, is suspected of importing and distributing tens of kilograms of cocaine in the capital region. During the investigation, the police seized around 10 kilograms of cocaine and believe the group has trafficked nearly 30 kilograms of drugs. The criminals used the cafe to legitimize their drug-related income, paying salaries to members and even paying taxes to conceal the illegal source of the money. 17 suspects have been arrested, most of whom remain in custody. According to a new book, An Extraordinary Prime Minister by journalist Salar Vuorikoski, former Finnish Prime Minister Sanna Marin changed her stance on Finland's NATO membership much earlier than the public knew. Marin began discussing the issue with close confidants in the summer of 2021, more than half a year before Russia invaded Ukraine. Matti Niemi, one of her assistants, revealed that Marin had concluded that Finland's path lay in joining NATO, though she expected the process to be neither easy nor quick. The book also disclosed that Marin and her team had planned to push for internal discussions within the Social Democratic Party (SDP) by autumn 2023 to change the party's stance. Although there was opposition from other political leaders, including President Sauli Niinisto, public support for NATO membership surged after Russia's attack on Ukraine in February 2022. A subsequent poll showed 53% of Finns in favor of NATO membership, compared to just 28% before the invasion. Leena Kaisar Tunkinen, a researcher at Finland's Institute for Health and Welfare (THL), expressed concerns that the budget may not be sufficient to carry out the government's plan to subsidize private doctor visit fees for people over 65. The government plans to implement this scheme next year, allowing citizens to access private doctors at similar costs to public healthcare. However, Tunkinen worries about the financial sustainability of maintaining this plan in the long term. The government has allocated approximately €500 million for Keller support, with €335 million coming from state funds. However, Tunkinen questioned the program's viability if adequate financial resources are not secured. According to Ossi Heinonen, Secretary-General of Plan Finland, violence and sexual harassment are the greatest challenges to gender equality for girls in Finland. Global conflicts and crises are eroding girls' rights, especially in education. International Day of the Girl Child, observed annually on October 11, highlights this issue and calls for action globally, including in Finland. This year, Plan Finland presented its first award to the Mimit Kodar initiative, which promotes gender equality in the IT sector. The initiative, started by Miljar Kopsi, helps girls access technology fields and encourages equal participation in the industry. Sirapar Lorimo, a resident of Joensuu, had become accustomed to crossing the Russian border to buy cheaper gasoline. Before the Russia-Finland border was closed at the end of last year, she frequently drove across the border to save on fuel costs. Lorimo mentioned that each week she could save around €70 on gas thanks to these trips. Her family owns 3 cars, and she often made multiple trips in a single day to fill up. Since the border closure, Lorimo has had to purchase gasoline in Finland, where prices are much higher. She is eagerly awaiting the day the border reopens so she can resume her trips. When the border opens, everyone will rush over there, she said. However, not everyone benefits from the current situation. Gas stations near the border, like Maria van Assendelft's, have lost customers as drivers can no longer fill up in Russia. She hopes the border remains closed longer to maintain her business. The ISO Numero newspaper is facing severe financial difficulties. Every year, the paper is sold by nearly 300 individuals who struggle to find other employment, about 50% of whom are illiterate. Many of the vendors rely primarily on the income from selling this paper, but the financial situation of ISO Numero has been worsening. The challenges stem from issues caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, the war in Ukraine, and, more recently, cuts in government financial support. ISO Numero is now calling for community donations to continue operations. If the paper ceases publication, many vendors will be left without income, especially those in vulnerable groups who cannot find work elsewhere. ISO Numero is not just a source of income but also an opportunity for social integration. Severe storms cause flooding, which can be more dangerous than wind, and is the primary cause of damage in storms. Recently, Hurricane Milton devastated Florida, causing terrifying floods. The floods resulted from a combination of strong winds and low air pressure. When strong winds push water from the sea onto the shore and combine with low pressure at the storm's center, sea levels rise suddenly, leading to severe flooding. Flooding not only submerges entire cities but also causes significant damage to structures, sweeps away homes, and threatens human lives. The first ski track of the winter season officially opened on October 11 in Sotkarmo, Vuokarti. This annual event has been held for over 20 years, regardless of rainy and warm weather. However, the track continues to attract many athletes for training. Cross-country skier Perttu Haivarinen shared that skiing after the summer is a long-awaited moment that fuels training motivation. In the initial phase, the track is nearly 2 kilometers long, enough for athletes to build endurance. Haivarinen confirmed that skiing is his favorite skill, and returning to the snow excites him. Additionally, athlete Miskar Poiki-Markki, who works directly in the area, ensures that the ski tracks are always maintained in good condition, providing the best training experience for the athletes.